Hi, this is Matt Jaxtis, founder of Ultimate Life Coach, and welcome to video 3 of our 4-part video series on shifting your mindsets. Now, you've gone through video 1 and 2, hopefully, and this video we are going to talk about some really powerful, cool mindset shifts, prepackaged shifts that you can take and you can use every day of your life to get amazing results, to be happier, and just have overall higher quality of life. Who doesn't want that? I'll take that all day long. So let me show you these shifts, but before I do, I want to do a quick recap and actually add a little something on to the last video. So if you remember in the last video, we talked about the way of the science, really, of creating a mindset shift. And it's a 3-part. First, you identify the problematic thought or belief that is recurring, the mindset that you want to get rid of, and you attack it. You come up with reasons that it's not true. You got to be the lawyer arguing against that for the guilt of that mindset, why it is guilty of being false, ineffective, and time to go. So you come up with examples and reasons that it is not true. Second part is you install a new mindset that is helpful, one you want to be there, one that has more truth to it, and you build that up. You come up with the reasons that it is true. And third, and this is the most important part, guys, do not miss this part. You have to take action. Have to take action. Without action, you are not really creating change. Okay? It is possible to change just by doing the first and second step, and they are powerful and necessary. But the third step of taking action that affirms that new mindset, that is where you're going to really cement it in place and get the serious results you want. So, challenge the faulty belief, install a new one, and take action that reaffirms that belief. I want to be so clear that that is essential. So, the thing I want to talk about are a couple common mistakes or challenges for why you might not be getting results on this. And there's 2 points here I want to hit on. First is you're just not doing it enough. You watch these videos, you learn the concepts, and then you go on and back to business as usual, and you get caught in the trap of not really changing anything. I'm not going to let that happen. I want to really hit on this hard that there are 2 times you should be using this on a regular basis. Now, one is anytime. Anytime it comes to your mind, anytime you think about it, do it. Run through that 3-part process, at least the first 2. Even if you can't take action right that second, run through and remember the reasons that that negative belief is not true and the new mindset that you're putting in its place and why it is true and beneficial. So you can do that anytime, any place, in your car, in your bed, at work, jogging, whatever. Anytime it comes up, do it. You should be doing this at least once a day. If you're not doing it once a day, then you're not getting enough repetitions to get a serious result. So the second time, the second situation where you should absolutely be going through this routine of rewriting your internal mindset is exactly when that negative mindset creeps back in, tries to reattach itself to you. When that negative mindset creeps in, and you probably know the situations and the times it's most likely to do this, whenever that happens, that's your cue right there to run through the routine we just learned. Okay? You can use the negative mindset literally as the cue, as the alert that, all right, it's time to go to work. It's time to challenge it and rebuild a better one and take some positive action to reaffirm it. So anytime it comes to mind, do it at least once a day, and specifically when you are threatened by that old, nasty, negative mindset, do it. Go through the routine real quickly. It can be quick, especially the more you get used to it. And the other point I want to make, which I already kind of touched on, is take action. You have to take action. This is not just a cognitive thing we're doing. This is a physical, real-world exercise to create change. So please always follow it up with action. Taking action is what reaffirms and cements it and lets the new mindset blossom and grow, which then actually creates more motivation, more action. It's the loop. It's the behavior mindset loop. The behavior drives the mindset drives the behavior, so on and so forth. Take advantage of that, guys. So powerful. All right, with that said, let's get into video 3. Again, this is going to be on 3 powerful prepackaged mindset shifts that you can use for amazing results in your own life. The first one I want to talk about is switching from being led by your emotions to led by actions. And we kind of got into this leading up just now, but what I mean specifically is most people, everybody at some point, give too much value to your emotions, the sensations inside of you, in your body, in your mind. And we use these emotions as our guide. Okay? Sometimes it's a good guide, sometimes it's not. If you're feeling hungry, you should eat. But if you eat every time you're feeling a little bit hungry, now you're being led and controlled by these emotions and these urges. So, another word for this is emotional reasoning. It is using your emotions as the reason and the primary reason to do something. You probably know already, can think of where you use emotional reasoning. Procrastination, not getting projects done, eating, addiction, happens all the time. I'm going to show you how to shift to not being led by your emotions, but being led by your actions and ultimately your core self, what you really want to happen, okay? So, question is, what emotions are leading you? What are your emotional reasoning points that are taking advantage of you and having too much control over you? Again, it could be related to food. It could be related to drugs or addiction. It could be related to other kinds of addictions besides drugs. It can be related to relationships, taking the easy route, not committing yourself and putting in the work physically or in any other place, projects, career. Where are you allowing your emotions to hijack you? Think about it right now. Write it down. I always recommend writing down the answers to these things. Get a grip on that right now. What is your emotional reasoning sticking point? All right, now that you have your emotional reasoning sticking point, the thing that is having too much control over you, it's time to set a time and a place that you're going to be the leader. You're going to be in charge. You, not your urges, not the sensations in your mind and your body, but you, the highest thinking, conscious part of you, okay? When are you going to take control specifically? Plan it out. Write it down, schedule it. When are you going to take control? When's the next time that you are going to be faced with this emotional urge? But instead of letting it carry you away like you have so many times before, you are going to be the leader. You are going to stand up to it and you're going to let it pass, as it usually does. When are you going to take control? Schedule it. Remember, this is that action step. You have to have action. That is what creates the mindset. The action creates and builds mindsets. Just like the actions in the past have. The reason you're giving into these emotional impulses is because previously you gave into them. In the past, when you felt an urge to indulge, you indulged. You reaffirmed that dynamic in your brain. You literally wired together the part of your brain that takes action in a negative way and feels the urge. So when that urge goes off, boom, next thing, automatically you're taking the action. You feel hungry, you're automatically eating the ice cream at midnight. You know? You want to smoke, you're smoking. You feel like a drink, you're drinking. You want to stay in bed, you stay in bed. And that gets reaffirmed again and again. So we're using that same exact cycle because it's so powerful and can hurt you so much. We're just redirecting it so now it's helping you. It's pretty cool, actually, and think about it. So when are you going to take that action? When is the next time specifically you are going to choose to stand up to the emotional urges? Now that you have that in place, I want to touch on a related point, that is, when you resist the urges, It's uncomfortable. I know. That's why we let them happen. We give in because the alternative is discomfort, quite honestly. And nobody likes being in pain or discomfort, even a little bit. But here's the trick, guys. When you just sit with it and you let it be there, you let that urge exist in you and around you, you notice that nothing really happens. No disasters. You don't find yourself in agonizing pain for the most part. Nothing happens. It's mild discomfort, and eventually, if you sit with it long enough, it will pass. And when that happens, now you are rebuilding the mindset in your brain, in your mind, in your body that you're in control. And it'll be a little bit easier next time. Eventually, it'll be as automatic as giving into the urges. Standing up to them will be the default, not giving into them. It takes a little time, takes some repetitions, but it will come. Okay? So remember, take action and be okay with a little discomfort. It's going to be there, especially at the beginning. You can handle it, I promise. Be okay with discomfort. Be okay sitting with the discomfort and noticing nothing happens. Life goes on, it passes, and you're a little bit stronger from it. So that was our first mindset shift. And remember, for all these mindset shifts, I encourage you to use the same 3-part process. Challenge the beliefs that are existing right now about it. Come up with reasons that are not true. Install a new belief that is true, and take action. Challenge, install, take action. So let's talk about our second amazing mindset shift, prepackaged. I'm just going to hand to you that you can take it and run and use in your life. The second one is even bigger than the first one, potentially. This is moving from being extrinsically motivated to intrinsically motivated, which just means being motivated by things outside and around us versus being motivated by the things and values inside us. Okay? Extrinsic motivation would be money, power, things, cars, houses, being perceived well by others. Okay? These are things outside of us that we are trying to attract, draw in. Intrinsic motivation would be living with our values, having good relationships, giving to others, living up to our potential, expressing creativity, proving ourselves that we can overcome challenges. These are intrinsic values, intrinsic motivations. They exist within us. We don't need anything outside of us. We create it from within. Okay? Now, we all have a mixture of extrinsic and intrinsic motivations. And extrinsic motivations, there's always going to be some of that. The carrot and then in front of you, the old carrot and donkey, trying to keep walking, trying to get to it. But a lot of times we get imbalanced and we have too much extrinsic motivation in play and not enough intrinsic motivation. The cool thing is, intrinsic motivation is actually a lot stronger. When you connect with it, you're going to notice new levels of overall willpower, creativity, mental strength, endurance, and motivation. It's just a stronger type of motivation. There's been a lot of research on this topic, and it turns out that people that are rooted in intrinsic motivation, living with their values, are happier, healthier, more successful, including financially, and overall have a much higher quality of life. So really, if all you're after is the classic happiness and success, you're much better off pursuing the intrinsic motivations. Something that is such a really simple concept, but explains so much, is that people, you, me, everybody, ultimately, we're after happiness. That's really what we want. And everything we reach for, everything we desire, is just a means to be happy and feel good. Now, when you take this dynamic, it gives you a chance to dig down under the layers of extrinsic desires and find what's at the core. What are you really after? What is really going to inspire you? There's a little challenge, a test that we can do to figure this out. And this is called the 5X test, okay? What you're going to do, get your paper, pen. I want you to write down, what do you really want? Write it down. Once you have that, I want you to ask yourself, why do you want this? Answer. What do you really want? Why do you want this? And once you have that, I want you to ask yourself the same question, why do you really want this? 3 more times. So if you say, I really want financial security, sure, that's a good one. Why do you want this? Because I want to have more free time to spend with my family. Why do you want that? Because I love my family and I desire, being with them more, giving to them and making their lives better. Why do you want that? Keep digging down until you get to the core, what you're really after. And usually you'll find out what you're really after isn't answered in the first or second or even third iteration. Sometimes you have to go at least 5 times, maybe more, to figure out what you're really after. What you're really after, that is your intrinsic motivator. Find that, and that is your compass. When you connect to that thing, that intrinsic motivator, now you know what's going to give you the energy, the fuel, the creativity to fuel a positive mindset and lifestyle. So after you figure out, you do this test, find a couple of your key intrinsic motivations. Now remember, go through that 3-step process. Take that extrinsic motivation, challenge it, find reasons it's not true, install the new intrinsic motivator, build it up, find reasons it is true and beneficial, and take action, guys. Just that simple. It's going to be amazing, I promise. This is one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself. All right, our third mindset shift we're going to go over today is being self-focused versus other-focused. It is focusing on what can I take versus what can I give. Now, it's not to say that it's always bad or something you want to avoid looking out for yourself. Of course, you should look out and try to benefit yourself. The problem is, especially when we're trying to better ourselves, improve our mindsets, sometimes we get so locked in our own head, focused on me, that we actually kind of hurt ourselves. And it can be much more beneficial to shift the focus outward so we're looking at other people and making them the benefactors, okay? And that actually reflects to help us out. So I want you to look around for places in your life where maybe you've been so consumed with your own well-being that you are not adding value to others. When you find a place that you can add value to another human being, you are creating value for you. You are making it so you're reaffirming your usefulness and meaning in the world, and you're making it more likely to build social connections and have reciprocal acts of value given to you, which is obviously beneficial. So where are you too inward focused right now? Where is your mindset all about me? What can I take? And not about what can I give? How can I help? Find that point. Find that point in your life. Take some time, brainstorm it, write down a few potential options, and pick one of them that you're going to actively give value to someone else, that you're going to turn the spotlight outward to another human being or creature, whatever it is. Okay? Now again, we're just going to go through that same powerful 3-step process. Take that old mindset, that me-focused mindset, break it down, find reasons it's not true, build up the new one, find reasons it is true, and take action. Simple 3 steps with almost unlimited potential to rewrite your life. Okay? So those are the 3 things, 3 mindset shifts for today. We have the switching from being emotionally led to leading ourselves, and so those are the 3 mindset shifts I want to give you today. Switching from being emotionally led to being the leader of our emotions, switching from extrinsic motivators to intrinsic motivators, and finally switching from me to others. Okay? Take those, find just one of them to even start with. I don't want you to be overwhelmed. and choose one at least that you are going to focus on, you're going to build into your routine. Now remember, you also have your own mindset you're trying to shift, whatever that is. You can do this at the same time. It's totally possible. But I don't want you to be overwhelmed. So if you want to just start with one or the other, that's fine. I would say spend at least a week, but potentially more, working on one of these shifts we've talked about. Your own personal one or one of the three that we just went over. And once you feel like you're actually seeing results, feeling results, getting results, then spend at least another week cementing it. And then it is a safe time to start transitioning and focusing on other mindset shifts. The great thing is, guys, there's nonstop, never-ending potential. You can always be finding new mindsets to rewrite, okay? It's an ongoing challenge. The growth is never ending. And each one creates a little more prosperity, well-being in your world and really in the people around you. This isn't just for you. This is for your loved ones, okay? Remember, shift from that me to other focus. So take that and play with that. And in the fourth video, I'm going to give you a couple tips for how to really cement this in, make it a lasting change, because we're all about results here. This isn't just talk. This is about change, lasting change. Can't wait to see you. Can't wait to hear your results on it. Go take action. I'll see you in the fourth video.